is very important for them.
Yeah, totally. Confidence is key in a game like this. And guess what? MNM finally have a little bit of confidence on their side. They racked that up when they stomped Elevate this morning. They got over the whole early morning game blues and they took down the undefeated team in this group. MNM, though, now they will have to get revenge against Astralis. It was a close overtime last time these guys played just yesterday. And MNM will do everything they can to get that sweet revenge.
The bans so far are very repetitive of the last time that these two faced off. Last time they faced off on Oregon. Now they're facing off on Skyscraper, but the bans are exactly the same. Finka being taken out for MNM and Flores being taken out for Astralis. Nothing too much has changed. Azami also going out, this time banned out by Astralis. Still nothing has changed between these two teams.
Something has certainly changed for Astralis, though. Will they be able to change it back in time with this game? Believe it or not, if you combine the entire standings of every group, the lowest rated team in the tournament is Soniqs. Second lowest is Astralis. They were second best in Charlotte. Now they're second worst in Berlin.
Shocking, really.
Almost as shocking as the Bandit ban.
Oh. But still, this is so important for MNM because Astralis are on the down bad. They're not doing so good. This is their chance to rock their way up in the SI standings. They're currently sitting in 12th place in the global ranking, if I'm correct. I might get you to double check that one.
It is.
Which does mean that they are in the danger of going below the top 16 if they don't perhaps bring out at least a few points from this particular matchup. Now starting out on their defense, one ban that did manage to slip through was the Valkyrie. That one is still in for Nello, and Nello, he's very good on this operator. I'm sure that all of you watching EUL would absolutely know he's a demon when it comes to this intel operator.
I want to know what's gotten into Forest, because apparently he is Forust today. Coming into the server with a bit of sass. I think this is our first time casting Astralis? I don't think, yeah, we haven't casted Astralis during this event so far. That's fun. I mean, they were hyped up. We had high expectations. I remember the first night we had dinner with Parker, he was like, yeah, Astralis, best team in North America, probably favorites to win the event. Unfortunately, they failed to deliver that so far. But we know these guys, like, these are absolute gunners. Shuttle has really struggled to find his form during this event. Such an experienced player, and yet he hasn't been able to lead the way to his team.
You can't always show up at every single event. Astralis, they've had an incredible run throughout the year, and I know that they're going to be back and ready for Stage 3. That's just the relentless pressure that these teams continuously have as the stage goes on. Now, Astralis, they are mounting their attack onto this karaoke and tea room bomb site. Quite a different approach from what we normally see. They're not going to go for that map sweep across because they know they're going to run into the choke points of Drum and Shrine. Instead, they're looking for a more bottom-up take, starting on that ground floor, working their way up the stairs and directly into Geisha.
Astralis, on the attack, are the first to fall. Solotov, the Turk, finds the opening pick. Shuttle goes down, continuing his rough spat here in the Berlin Major. Struggled to find his form that he is known for. MNM do start strong here on what is quite a defense-favored map. In fact, MNM win 91% of their defenses on Skyscraper across the last 2 times they have played it. That's a pretty crazy stat.
MNM are playing this well as well. They're not giving away anything to Astralis. Right now, Astralis, they're simply just trying to play the cutoffs. We see 2 or 3 players on the rappel. One came in from below to just clear that mute jammer. But really, there's no attack that's been majorly pressed, aside from J90 entering in through the top of the back stairs. Now, they're just starting to get their way in, but MNM, they're not falling short to these cutoffs and these rappels.
And the rappel goes in, sprinting forward. The plank goes down from Forust, but he is C4'd. Solotov finds his second on the round. Iconic taken down. This has been a roughie for Astralis. Solotov somehow managed to get a knife as well, and J90 is shut out. It's a flawless start for MNM. What a way to kick it off. They are hungry to stay third in the group.
And gorgeous round from MNM, perfectly played. They didn't give anything away to Astralis. Like I said, the architecture of Skyscraper is very unique compared to the architecture of many other maps currently in the Pro League pool. It's very difficult to play cutoffs on this map. There are not that many windows where you can create long lines of sight that seal the way into that go all the way into the bomb site, it's hard to cut off the rotations. There are really not that many external walls, aside from on this particular site, to try and open up your way into the map. And as a result, this cut-off playstyle that Astralis were going for can sometimes work, but only off the back of MNM's mistakes, and they didn't make any in that round.
MNM were very patient. Really the only form of aggression we saw early in the round was that little drop down from, I believe it was Solotov, who came down the geisha hatch in the kitchen. Look at this from Astralis, though. We're seeing a bit of a pivot in the operator lineup. We've got the Thatcher, which funnily enough did sneak through the ban phase. Skyscraper with Thatcher is a hell of a lot easier. You don't have to worry so much about that wall denial. But on top of that, you got this Amaru. I wonder, is Iconic just using this to get onto the balconies, or has he got something more sinister in mind?
Well, I actually like this from Astralis. They've realized in the last round, okay, MNM aren't going to give anything to us, so we need to press the attack onto them instead, trying to expedite that process into the building with the Gara hook of Iconic. And now he's going in straight for it. Perfect entry. Finally, we get some boots in the building early from Astralis.
Very early. Took him all but 20 seconds to get in there. Was it heard by Neo? That's the question. Iconic droning for himself. It's a bit difficult for him to be able to capitalize immediately on that information, but he actually moves all the way forward. Solotov on for a flank, but Iconic might be able to catch off that player in drum. It is Neo.
Solotov, though, he's making his way up the back stairs. Has an idea where Iconic might be, and he might not even be watching. Solotov, the shots do connect, and Iconic goes down.
And that's the failure of Iconic to drone himself in. It's so difficult when you have no support. You've got to drone for yourself, you've got to entry for yourself, you've got to hold your own flank. No support from the rest of Astralis, who are preoccupied with the other side of the map. Solotov, he's having a laugh right now. 4 kills, hasn't died once in these 2 rounds.
This is looking very disconnected at the moment from Astralis. All 5 of them look like they're trying to achieve their own thing. It doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of teamwork going on this side of the attack so far. Meanwhile, MNM, they're patiently sitting on the site knowing that Astralis are taking their time and they're not committing to anything just yet.
Jane, I know, looking keen to jump in this shrine window. DP Fire has made his way back up to the position where we saw Iconic die earlier, but Solotov below would punish DP Fire should he walk back too far. Astralis starting to really pressure this side. EMP goes. That's going to enable the X-Karis to be detonated, opening up a line of sight between Dragon and Garden.
For MNM, they're still not giving anything away to Astralis. Maybe this push has come in a little bit too late for them. All of the anchors now fallen back to side with the wildcard factor of Solotov down below, ready to cause some chaos onto the side of Astralis.
But it's Nello who's in the pivotal position here, isn't it? He's got a shield to protect himself from the breach. Solotov goes down. That's that cheeky little X factor downstairs. Nello uses his last gas babe. He's going to have to trust in that shotgun. Astralis, though, what is the play for them? Aggressive. J9O taken so low on HP. The C4 doesn't kill him. He survives. 30 seconds now as Forest finds the pick. Goes up the main stairs, dies. Shuttles the last one left. A 1v3 has to switch over to the bearing, but the crossfire is just too good. MNM looking very comfy here on these defenses.
And once again, MNM not punishing, not letting Astralis punish them for any positioning mistakes. Of course, Solotov, he was the first to take down the entry of Iconic. Iconic, he was just in there all alone. No support, no drones to follow through. And for Astralis, they took far too long to all be on the same page. By the time that they were all consolidating their players onto that Dragon push, it was just too late. There was no one in that position anymore. And as the time went away, the power of that shotgun grows greater and greater. The power of those anchor positions that they haven't droned out just compounds for MNM. And now they're taking their tactical timeout. They have to get back on the same page.
Yeah, Astralis taking a very early tactical timeout. But if you'd only got 2 kills across 2 rounds, I probably would suggest you do the same as well. They need a bit of a mental reset. This is a tough one. We're getting back in. Astralis going to be leaning on their coaching staff. I believe it's Callout who's behind them at the minute. I didn't quite catch it. And he'll be doing his best. I mean, Callout has been highly praised. I think it was Parker the other night who was talking about how it's been said Callout's got one of the best minds for the game. Does he have what what this team needs to get back in? Because it's not about strategy necessarily for Astralis. Sometimes it's not about the players know what to do. It's about getting in the right headspace to perform to the level that they know that they can. This is a championship-capable team with one of the best teams in the world, and we just haven't seen that throughout the tournament.
Astralis, they need to get back on their feet. We need to see some teamwork. We need to see them push the attack onto MNM. Otherwise, the MNM players are going to walk at you just like Solotov did in that last round. MNM, they do an extended hold upstairs onto this kitchen and barbecue bomb site, holding onto Geisha as well as the tea room area, along with these castles to protect any entries that might come through.
Yeah, I really like this strat. Pretty cool. I love a bit of castle action, you know, I'm a big fan.
We do.
And the amount of site construction and off-site construction you've got, you can see 3 players of MNM right now equipping their shotguns. Uses, Neo, and Solotov. There's a lot of work to be done deep into the action phase. They're still going about it. What a strat.
They must have dry run this over and over again. You just know that they have. They're whipping out that strat book and they're like, you know what, this is our last game. Just show off everything, really.
Well, the funny thing is, MNM have actually played a bit of Skyscraper before. On the flip side, this is the first time all stage Astralis has played this map.
Fascinating. Astralis, though, they're looking to change things up a little bit on this attack. They're already consolidating their players early this time for the entry onto reception. Now, this is some great pressure. They know that MNM need to hold on to horizontal control because it's right next to the site, and now they have something to worry about. Their site could be in danger if they don't pay too much attention. Meanwhile, J90 is making his entry through the top floor. I don't mind this from Astralis. They're pressing the attack a lot more early, and it's a lot more dynamic as well.
I love that drone up in the rafters of Karaoke. DP5's got a good position as well. Nello's actually fallen back away from delivery. What was the purpose of that smoke? I'm not quite sure. Perhaps just to burn some util? Astralis now moving their way forward. Forest is going to get a yellow ping, surely. The yellow ping erupts. It's not Forest to get the kill, but it is Astralis to come in with the advantage. They drop the hatch immediately. A desperate attempt, but Iconic turns up the heat. Just uses and Neo uses. Oh, get turned on, mate. It's only Neo left. A 1v4. Astralis stem the bleeding, and they retaliate. A convincing round to take down MNM.
And what a gorgeous attack from Astralis that was. That was the teamwork that we needed to see from them. That was them working together on different parts of the map and being on the same page. That's exactly what they needed out of that tactical timeout. We didn't see any disconnect. We didn't see a difference in pacing between the entire team. All 5 players were contributing to the map push at all times. We saw 2 players double up for reception, J90 and someone droning him in for top floor, as well as the refrag through the top floor as well. And as soon as the momentum went in their favor, they all jumped on the same page and they all executed on the site at the same time. That is a very different Astralis that we saw between the last 2 rounds.
I know you guys on the stream can hear this, but the players are yelling like crazy. I think it's
no idea what they're yelling about.
It's from the other game. It's Rogue NIP, right? Not that you should go and watch that game. I mean, maybe you should. You should also watch this game. You should watch both games. Let's be real. I'm sure that if we see Astralis get a couple of wins together, you'll be able to hear them just as loud, because this team gets so fired up. Remember?
Rowdy.
I think it was on the R6 Esports Twitter account, that reaction from Iconic when they won a round in that previous game.
They feisty.
He went sicko mode.
Absolute gamers these guys are. We love them. From North America, of course. Now they have to mount one more attack, though. Yet another round. Just taking it round by round is what Astralis need to do here. Each site is going to be different from MNM. They don't repeat often. They're going to go over to Karaoke and Tea Room instead. They're not looking to repeat that kitchen and barbecue site anymore. J90 immediately hopping on that rappel, pressing the attack onto Geisha, while the rest of his team clear from the other side of the map.
Ooh, Forest. Wallbang spray almost takes down Solotov. Look at the aggression, though, from the Turkish player on the other side. Got the SMG-11 in hand. He falls back at the perfect moment. Shuttle not able to secure that kill. The breach has been open on Geisha, rather, putting that extra bit of pressure onto Solotov. He's had a good game so far. He's spotted. He falls back.
Astralis looking like they want to go for Geisha control as the first point of contest. Two of the players outside. Meanwhile, DP Fire holding the cross from below, as well as J90 to hold off any players trying to rotate out of there, and that's it.
Interesting timing there from DP Fire to try and walk up the main stairs. Look at this from Tyrant! The timing's not there, but it doesn't matter because Neo's gone nuts. He finds a double. Immediately shut back down again. J90's having a good round from this rappel.
Well, it could be even better. Almost connecting to the shots onto Solotov, but he doesn't find the kill, and now we're at a bit of an impasse, Dev. They're not really sure what they want to do. FURIA is on very low health, trying to make a line of sight for himself, but what will come of it?
Hard to say. I mean, J90 essentially caught off guard. If he repels in, he'll make so much noise. It's the freest kill for the MNM players. And that's why Forest is the one that they must lean upon.
User though, he's holding on to this line of sight. J90 coming in from below. The drones are there. There is some intel for them, and J90 is perfectly healthy.
I love this.
With an LMG in hand. Ooh, I like this from them as well. Oh no, he's just fallen off this angle.
Wow, complete forfeit of the side from MNM, it seems. Forest shut out, and well, J90 soon to follow. Astralis tried their best, but such a strong performance on that side from MNM. So well played with the peel back. And this skyscraper's looking quite defensive favored.
And you said it exactly right. Great peel back. That's just such great discipline from MNM. Even though they knew that they'd given away the site to Astralis, they didn't panic about it. They held the crossfires. They were ready for the retake. We saw FURIA in a very vulnerable position. I love it. I'm going to keep going with it.
That's what I want to know. Like, why is he FURIA?
I don't really care.
I also
honestly,
don't know why I'm rolling the R. I get a lot of enjoyment out of that. Forest is the newest player to the lineup. He's been around for about 5 months, which is a decent amount of time. He's seen it all, and I guess he just wants to roost. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Does it make sense? I don't know. I don't really.
It's like a rooster would roost in like
I
the.
get what you mean.
Yeah, it's like. I assume that's what it is. Not that that really makes sense. We'll have to ask him after the game.
MNM, though, they will go over to the exhibition and office site. Now, this is one of the sites where external walls are actually plentiful. It's quite unique compared to all the rest of the sites on this map, but they're actually electing to open half of the office wall, perhaps for an impact trick, perhaps to stop any thermites from going on the wall. But actually, Astralis, they're just bringing the ranged hard breach on J90 and Shuttle, so they won't have to be worried about having their feet shot off when they go for that breach.
Oh, I like this timing here from users. Is he waiting to hear the X-Kairos before he goes and puts the claw down? Bit of aggression. Iconic taken down very, very low. EMP goes out. I don't think this is going to trick it. It actually does! Wow! What a play and what perfect timing.
Excellent from MNM. Although Astralis, they've made progress elsewhere. DP5, he snuck his way through on the Nook on the other side of the map. As the rest of his teammates start to work on these external walls, the combination of the EMP and the thermal charges, they will open up that office wall. There is a breach going down, and I like this from Astralis. They've made a lot more pressure. Oh, goodness, but it doesn't matter if Neo can just peek the breach and take down FURIA.
Every time you say that, I'm going to break. Neo's been nuts. Maybe taking after his namesake from the Matrix. Dodging bullets, but also landing every shot. He is the one. 7-2 right now. From his anchor positions, he's been so impactful. Unfortunately, DP Fire can't quite say the same as he's dueling this long angle on the Nook with the suppressed FMG. Takes a bit of damage. Feels like he's being shut out every single round, and this is no different. Aggressive play. He does finally punish Solotov after a bit of over-aggression from the Warden.
I don't mind this from Astralis as well. They've realized that the main breach is not working out, but DP5 got some excellent control on the other side, so they said, all right, we'll meet up, we'll link arms, and try and see what we can work.
Well, here's a nade from DP Fire. The players continually aggressing into Dragon. Oh, users just missed the timing. Sprays once again back at the Nook on that window.
This is a tough situation for Astralis. The utility is not super aplenty for them anymore. Although they have made some great progress, they have lots of points of pressure, but it's about the timing to execute and use what they have open to their advantage.
All they don't have is any EMPs to breach this wall with. Neo finds another one. How do you stop him? Dancing around the bar. Finally, DP Fire says, you want to know how to stop him? I'll show you. And he's going in for a second one now. Gets the double. Tyrant to stand up with a C4. It's all on J90. 1v2. He's got a little bit of time to play with, but he doesn't have that diffuser. What he does have is one of the best goddamn guns in the game.
A very peculiar round, though. J90 in the 1 versus 2, but the crossfire is so good from Usus. Ah, Astralis. It's just so strange, isn't it?
It is strange to see Astralis fall when there's been so much hype behind them. But MNM have stood tall. They've had a phenomenal day so far, and yet they're still not getting energized. We talked about this a little bit during the Elevate game. What is going on with MNM? Like, what are they thinking right now? Because, yeah, perhaps a bit dejected at failing to make the playoffs, as both of these teams are, but they can still push for as many 6 Invitational points as possible, push for a bit of redemption, a bit of revenge against Astralis, who beat them last time these teams played. Surely they're feeling so much more confident after that win earlier today, and they seem to have brought that here into the server.
Well, confidence doesn't necessarily need to mean big gamer energy. It can also mean cool, calm, and composed, but still confident. Still giving respect to Astralis, and honestly, I feel like that is the EU way.
Yeah.
That is the way of MNM.
All this yelling I'm hearing from the other game makes me think Rogue are not displaying that. So maybe it's not necessarily the EU way to always be super chill, super calm. But it seems to be the way for MNM. And sadly for Astralis also, you know, why are they still so quiet? Bit of a rehost now as we have a technical issue. Astralis have already used their tactical timeout, so they're not able to call one from here on out. MNM can use one in the second half if perhaps they struggle on their attacking side, but both teams now get a bit of a moment to chillax. To be frank, it's not really MNM who need it. They're impatiently waiting to round off this defense. They're already up 4-1. 5-1 could be pretty bad on Skyscraper for Astralis.
And for MNM, even though they're cool, calm, composed, even though they haven't made it through the playoffs, it still, once again, really matters, this SI positioning. For Astralis, yes, they're not celebrating. They tend to be a team that really only celebrates when they need to. They don't get overconfident, and when they're not doing so well, they reflect. They look back on themselves and they think, okay, what can we be doing here? We're not going to go overexcited. We're not going to BM the other team. They're not like that. But MNM, it's going to be hard to rattle those guys. They're very, very composed.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they look exactly the same, win or lose every single round, it seems. They're cold-blooded. Just look at that, waiting to get into the next round. Ready to go. And it's been Neo who's been really stepping up so far. In my mind, he's the one I've looked at. Oh, look at that. Nice little fist pumps. Both teams doing it. I respect that. We're getting back into the game, and the teams are getting back into the Sigma grind set.
Goodness, you did not just say that on the podcast.
I've been wanting to say that for so long.
I know.
I feel like it mostly applies to... Maybe not these days.
That was terrible from you. It really was. Anyway, we're getting back into the game, though. Astralis, this is their final attempt at an attack. Now, they seem to be getting back on the ball with these attacks. We're not seeing the disconnect that was there in the first 2 rounds. Each round, they look more and more connected as a team. Now, has their push worked every single time? No, it hasn't worked every single time. But they're certainly pressing it to MNM. They're forcing MNM every single round to take more passive positions, to be more disciplined against them. And if they can bring a second attack onto the board, they are well and truly still in this matchup.
Yeah, and this is such a defensive-favoured map. MNM in particular. Let me reiterate the stats I rattled off before. Oh, no, never mind. I accidentally misclicked something and it broke the entire spreadsheet. That's cool. Oh, Control-Z is my friend. 91% defense win rate for MNM on this map. They love their defense as a Skyscraper. However, their attacking win rate is only 33%. So you wouldn't expect MNM to get more than 2 rounds on their attacking side. If they can go 5 up in this first half, then all they'll need is those 2 rounds. So it's very achievable.
Iconic, already making his way in with the shock drone. It's just taken out default cameras. Once again, last time Astralis attacked this site, they put pressure on both floors of this map. They had entries through the top floor, they also had some going through the ground floor as well, directly onto reception, but the push is slightly different this time. J90 is immediately going to press the attack onto this Geisha power position, onto Tyrant, who is now stuck inside of Karaoke. Oh, he takes down the drone, actually manages to get away with his life inside of Geisha, but is about to be in a little bit of a pickle.
It's getting really aggressive as Tyrant. I actually really rate using the impact there to take out the drone. That's so much information that Astralis are now starved for. Jano not quite as impactful as he would like on this window. But Astralis are starting to step into the building. Here's DP Fire. He goes straight in for the rappel. Oh, nice long angle from DP Fire. Oh, it's Iconic who finds the opener. Solotov goes down. Astralis brute forcing the issue, and it's all coming up in spades. Iconic wants to go in for it as the player backs off downstairs, but DP Fire is still on the hunt.
And what a great three-man pinch of whoopsies.
Bomb located by attackers.
Jesus, man, what was that? All right, MNM, desperate attempt now, but it looks like Astralis are going to round off this half with an advantage. But here's Nello, just around the corner. Oh, shut out! See you later, alligator! Finally, Astralis back in business.
It is definitely not over for Astralis. I'll tell you what, those tech timeouts is exactly what they needed. That push was excellent. There was a three-way pinch that was going in on the top floor. J90, first one to put down the pressure. DP Fire slipped through the cracks on the Nook. The entry that came through from Iconic took away all of the attention of the MNM players that were playing in that top floor. And as a result, J90, he was able to land some shots onto him, flushed him straight into the entries, and Iconic, of course, he was able to pick up that kill. Fantastic teamwork from Astralis, and now, historically, MNM, not so good on their attack. This is their chance to get back into it.
Yeah, this is the thing. We only have the stats of each side for MNM. We don't have it because Astralis have never played it before. I mean, if I look overall at North America, where are we? Skyscraper. Defensive win rate in NAL is actually only 49%, and that's over a whopping 35 rounds played. So believe it or not, the NAL actually prefers attacking on this map.
Interesting. Very interesting. Astralis, though, they're going to be starting out on the defense, and their side of choice will be the Karaoke and Tea Room. Now, they're going for a slightly different approach to what MNM did. They're committing way more utility and reinforcements to the other side of the map, anticipating that MNM are going to go for a sweep from east to west. Seems to be pretty well read as well. All 5 players shaped around for this roam clear.
Well, I've seen the Tachenka make an appearance as well for Forest. The amount of site construction you can do with that is nigh limitless, and he's still going halfway through the first minute of the action phase. Oh, here's an EMP, though. Might enable a breach here. The second claw goes down, but I think that thermite charge is going to make a nice gaping hole in the site for Astralis.
Great use of the thermite charge as well by putting it far left. It's also opened up the wall adjacent to it inside of bar and can allow their entries to make their way in. Nello even being the first to take down Shuttle. Tyrant, he can make his point of entry in through the breach that have just been opened, but drones are aplenty, and Astralis, they could be stuck here if their teammates don't come and help them.
A good pick there. A good start for MNM. They seem to have a newfound confidence here. Tyrant, you can see, he just looks so keen to jump in here. Of course, this is not the bomb site, this is the roam game. And so Astralis can afford to forfeit control, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do.
Forust has come around to try and help out some of his teammates, but Solotov is on a little bit of a lurk to try and cut off any of the roamers that are coming back. Uses, he might be able to find the angle off the back of that yellow ping to go for the wallbang, but doesn't seem to connect just yet. Once again, oh wait, hang on a second.
Oh, what's going on here, Solotov? How'd you manage to get directly in the middle of the site? He also finds a pick. Look, your guess is as good as mine, Manny. This has been a very, very strange affair. DP Fire can at least find one back. Oh, no. MNM are not fumbling it here. Astralis have clawed their way back in. DP Fire with a double.
And the roam clear is still happening. Believe it or not, we've had a player on the site. We've had a player only just hop into the building. J90 is now caught in a bit of a pinch. A two-way crossfire being held by the players of MNM. He'll try to make his way out through the main stairs and successfully evades the crisis.
There's actually 2 defenders now below. Site is upstairs, Tea Room Karaoke, and MNM need to get a move on. In fact, they are. Look at that. I say that. Usus is in the building, but he pushes a little bit too deep. Here comes the Tachenka, and, well, Forest can deliver not only with the fire, but with the rifle, the LMG, of course. Tachenka goes, brrr, and Nello is the last one left. 1v3 attempt, but the pistol is going to have to be enough because he's got no more ammo in the primary. DP Fire can fire him out, take him down, and Astralis do recover from that rocky start.
Does the LMG really go brrr?
It does.
I feel
it
like
goes
it's a bit more of a... I feel like it's a bit more of a...
All right, I'll do that next time.
Good job.
Thank you, Mandy. Look, I appreciate your feedback, and I always take it on board.
Of course. MNM, though, that was a very interesting attack from them. They tried to press it onto the roam clear, hoping that the Astralis players would fall back onto the site. But by the time that Solotov made it into the site, he said, guys, there's actually nobody here.
There's nobody
here.
The
roamers are still out trying to fight you. And as Solotov got taken down on the site, the one anchor that was left there, the rest of MNM were left scratching their heads going, what do we do next? And even though they tried to dial up the pace, clear the roam, Jano, he made his way out, and now Astralis, they're up another round.
They are. And they've done well to stay composed even when MNM is getting right up in their grill. Seems to be the MNM way. Oh, I'll try and say that 10 times. The MNM way is to get in there, see an opportunity. Hey, let's just go for this. This site's free. Let's go. No more time.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
Astralis, though, they're once again looking for this roam across on the other side of the map, anticipating that MNM, once again, are going to look for the sweep, and that does look like what they are trying to do. Solotov making use of that nook, pretty similar to DB Fire, will try and slip his way through the map, but might be met by a little bit of resistance.
Nello actually rappelling into the ground floor balcony. What's the idea there? Looking to clear downstairs, it seems. Beneath the bomb site, MNM perhaps going for a bit of vertical game. They have 2 sets of nades to work with to try and take out players on site or clear any utility that's covering off the hard breach on the main wall.
Not only do they have 2 nades, they also have the Buck on board. The one vertical attacker that can actually look upwards, not just downwards. So they want to make use of users' utility as much as they possibly can. Tyrant will be the first one in the building to make space of his team. Meanwhile, users putting some of these hard breach charges on the single VIP panel will make it a possible entryway for his teammates. Now, they're still holding on to this bottom floor control. The roamers on the side of Astralis are starting to fall back to the site as well, getting keyed in to what MNM are going for.
I like that. Gun 6 used there by Tyrant. Oh, it actually doesn't clear the mute jammer, so I don't like that.
Astralis, they're still holding on to this bomb site fairly comfortably at the moment. MNM, they haven't really pressed the attack and haven't got much value out of this bottom floor control either. There were no roamers here. They're only just starting to get used to the skeleton key, but it's not even going bottom up. MNM, what are you trying to do? What is the plan from here on out?
Is the idea here that the Amaru goes up the hatch? I've got medics in my ear who's observing. He knows best what his fellow Croatian would be doing.
Now that could be a little bit exciting, wouldn't it? MNM, they're shaping up for what could be a possible execute. Neo, he goes down on the Ying. Is that a critical part of the push that they're trying to go for? Yes, it is indeed. Someone below on that hatch, who is it? Oh, but Astralis, no!
Forrest is so aware of it. He's actually hard watching. I think they know. Here comes Nello straight up the hatch. See you later, Alligator, but use this on for the double. He is in the site. The mirror window is hard to contest with. Can he get the final shot? Skeleton key out. It's just so messy. And he can't deliver the killing blow. Solotov to come in through Dragon, trying to use the shield to his advantage, but that is not going to work. Usus has found 2 picks, but he's got to find 2 more. No diffuser, no time, no hope of finding these final kills. Astralis have stood tall, and they are looking like they are evening the scoreline.
Oh no, MNM, the attack curse is starting to come to them. We had no idea what was going on in the server in that round. We were wondering what MNM were trying to go for with the Amaru, but Astralis, they were definitely on the board with that one. Forust was able to hold onto that hatch, even being flashed out. He wasn't flashed out enough that he could deny that entry, and Ying going down as well took out a mission-critical part of that push. Maybe the combination of the Candelas, maybe the smokes, that extra bit of utility might have been the in for MNM, but that going down, that was really the killer for me.
And it feels like we've had a momentum shift, Mandy. Astralis, I was a bit worried for them. They used their tactical timeout really early. It didn't seem to amount for much. But that was the first half. In the second half, it's been all Astralis. It's been all defense. MNM have really struggled to sink their teeth into these attacks.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Now, Astralis, they'll take us down to the kitchen and barbecue bomb site. They're playing a slightly different philosophy to what MNM did. They're both leaning into castle, but they're playing quite an extended roam through the entire map, not just through the floor directly above them, but really they're holding onto each sector of the map and trying to contest the entry directly, just one-on-one, for as much as they can.
Good info here. Oh, Tyrant actually spots the rotation from Forest. He goes downstairs to throw a Prisma. The Thatcher is on the board, so this hard breach shouldn't be impossible when they eventually do get to any hard breach. There hasn't been many reinforcers off site here for Astralis. I expected perhaps some, but not so.
MNM, they're starting their map clear. Solotov to try and cut off through the ground floor, and it might work out. The shots do connect. Forust, he goes down.
Every time you say Forust, it just gets me cracking. Good usage here of the IQ and of the drones from MNM to figure out exactly what util is set up and what players are holding here on the exhibition and office side of the map. It looks like it's a bit of a pivot from MNM. They are taking the top floor, but they're focusing more on this Geisha side with some hard breach thanks to Nello.
They're still trying to clear out this roamers, however. Uses in tandem with Tyrant, trying to look for the cut-off play, but it's so difficult to cut off roamers on this attack. There are really only so many doors and windows that you can take them down from. They have to press the attack on this entry if they want to clear through the map.
Yeah, but of course it's going to be the game of lurking. Solotov downstairs. J90's found a pick. I believe that must have been an attempted jump into sight from users, but keep your mind on Solotov, because he's come in for the backstab. Sneaks in through barbecue, finds a pick. Tyrant catches Iconic, pants down. DP fire and shuttle to try and retake, but Solotov, he's everywhere all at once. DP fire, the youngest player in the server, in a 1v4. He can make it a 1v3, but this plant will surely go down.
Neo getting it down now. DP fire actually retaking through the top floor, looking for that vertical pressure, but to find no one. All of them playing the post plant on the ground floor.
Yeah, this is well played here from MNM. They're even watching this position on the balcony. Who was out on the other side? Tyrant there. Here's him. And that's the final shot needed. MNM. They break the streak that Astralis had managed to develop, and they show that they can indeed win some attack rounds on Skyscraper.
And that was a really great job from MNM exploiting what Astralis were trying to do. That was a very ambitious hold that Astralis were doing. Kitchen and barbecue is in one corner of the map. The roam that they were trying to do is in another corner of the map. And what that means is that the entire defense is very, very disconnected. It's going to take a long time for Astralis to cross the map to another continent to finally get back to the site. And with Solotov being able to sneak through in tandem with the users trying to jump in through the window, that was enough of a distraction to slip their way into the site, cut off any roamers that were coming back. We saw two of them get cut off going through that top floor by the entries, and the post plant was just 1-for once they got that bomb down. Just excellent exploitation.
Yeah, nice to see MNM finally getting back into the groove of things, because they started real slow on the attacking side. And now it's just one round for them before they'll find match point. If they can win this round, it's a 6-4 advantage. They get 1 point on the scoreboard. Reminder that MNM really here is fighting for 6 invitational points, as many as they can muster. 4th place in the group, which is 13th to 16th in the tournament, gives you just 50 SI points. But if you get 3rd place in the tournament, that's bottom 12, then you actually get 105 SI points. You also double your prize money from 5k to 10k. And that's really the focus for MNM, because they're currently 12th in the world for SI points, and they're not likely to stay that way by the end of the tournament. They will drop down unless they can maximize their point game.
Attackers drop the diffuser.
Astralis, they're once again looking for this roam game, aided by the Warden of Iconic. He's been given the MPX license to go and frag out as he wishes, but he possibly may be cut off from this terrace double repel. Nello, he'll open up the breach for his entries to make their way through, and MNM, they need to press the attack onto this roam, but perhaps not actually. Astralis, they've given up a lot of ground, except for J90 who's still holding onto the main stairs.
Well, it's so hard to read Astralis, because you never know when they are going to fall back, and here it is from J90. He actually forfeits that control. MNM aren't really hard pressing as of yet. It feels like they're... Oh, okay, as I say that, he just walks into the building. Never mind.
MNM, this is what they need to do. Time and time again, they found it quite difficult to make this entry. Now, I can understand the architecture of Skyscraper does make the entry very difficult. There are really only so many doors and windows and walls that you can walk through, which are quite easy to contest on the roam. Nevertheless, Astralis have fallen back, and MNM are trying to make use of the estate that they've been given.
How long is Iconic going to try and survive on this shield position, though? He's the Warden, which has got a great gun for it, great positioning for it, but Nello's actually managed to take control into Drum. That's a dangerous one, and a late reinforcement as well from Iconic. That is so odd. Nello doubles down. Jano is taken out. Astralis looking desperate, and it's going to be an MNM match point unless Iconic and Shuttle can do something truly iconic. It is Shuttle, what a headshot. That's so nice. Iconic springs into action as well, but it's all him, all left, all alone. 1v3. Astralis rest their hopes of a 3-point win on him, on the Warden, but a wall bang. Nello gets the 3-piece with the Na'Vi skin. A shout out to his former past life. And that is match point for MNM.
Oh, MNM, what a beautiful attack as well. We saw off screen that, I just want to point out, Nello. It looked like he came in from nowhere there to contribute to the drum push. But actually what he was able to do was he put the thermite charge down on the geisha wall, hard right of that wall. And what that did was it actually opened up a rotate into drum as well. Now, because those walls are so close to each other, he was able to sprint his way on in and assist with the roam clear that the rest of his team was going for. As a result, MNM, they were able to sweep their way in through the Brom site nice and easy. Geisha control was not being watched too closely by them, and they get punished for it. Now MNM, they're up on match point, poised to take this series.
Big opportunity for MNM to lock in third place. It's exactly what they need to get their maximum SI point game from this tournament. They are currently in third, but they need to defend this position from Astralis, who currently lies 3 points behind. Now remember, this is MNM's final game. This the maximum number of points they can get will be from this match, whereas Astralis go and play after this game. So if Astralis come back from here, then there's still a very big chance that Astralis overtake MNM. And that would spell disaster for the hopes and dreams of this young European roster.
MNM will start to mount their attack onto the exhibition and office bomb site. Astralis actually leaning into the mirror on Forust. They are holding on to that position in the site as much as they can, one facing the breach and one in his pocket currently, ready for the adaptation depending on what MNM is able to achieve.
Well, Forest does tempt the idea of a bit of a run out there and he gets some information from it. Sees the rappel line. Now Solotov on for this lurk. This game has really been a match of Nook lurkers. I think it was Shuttle on their side. Oh, it was DP Fire rather, actually, yeah. And now Solotov, who's had a really good game so far, is back on that roll, droning himself ahead now.
These screams are so incredibly loud.
I don't know if you guys can hear this, but like, we are deafened by the noise of the players from the other game.
I hope y'all have been watching on the B stream as well. Both of these games, both of the streams, they have been hectic. There's been a lot of action, but alas, back to this matchup for now. MNM, they could take it all here if they don't fumble on this clear. Now they've cleared out the roam. All of the Astralis players have fallen back into the site and users. He's holding onto gauge control for now. The next point of contest will be that center point of the map. It will be Terrace and it will be Dragon, and often this is where the attack stagnates.
Yeah, I think it was Pengu we were chatting to before, and he said, look, Skyscraper is very slow, and then you hit this point where it's Dragon, it's Terrace, and whoever wins this fight wins the round 99% of the time. DP Fire so keenly trained on this long angle. Solotov doesn't really have a lot to work with. He's going to have to employ Tyrant's assistance from this window. A couple of nades, perhaps, to clear this position.
One nade goes through, does it connect? It actually does. DP Fire takes a lick of damage and a second one to follow. Oh, perfect from Tyrant to finally clear out the position in Dragon. But there's only 43 seconds left. The wall, the single wall going into VIP has been opened up. A Tyrant to find a second onto Iconic. It could all be over here for Astralis.
Attackers have located a bomb.
That said, Astralis do fight back. Neo, though, jumps into the action once again. An attempt from Forest to trade it back is successful. Tyrant, He's been the difference maker this round. Can he continue to open it up? J90 to keep the game alive for Astralis. He can't quite land enough shots. He gets the down and the kill onto Nello Solotov to make it a 2v1. It is all up to J90 Tyrant to go and plant that diffuser. And it is up to Solotov to cover. The C4 is not there. Can J90 get it done? He cannot. MNM with the double wins today. And they lock in 3rd place on the standings.
And this is absolutely what MNM needed for that SI run to keep them in contention of the top 16 and taking it out in such a clean fashion. This scrapbook, it was odd. The pacing was crazy, but they kept it up. They confused Astralis throughout that entire game, that entire series, every step of the way. And finally, they were able to take out the win in their final game.
Well, you want to know who's better, NA or EU? I think you might have just found your answer to that. We'll break it down after this break.